Hi, and welcome to our Tuesday live leadership chats. Today I'm talking about questions and how Jesus uses questions to equip, empower, and draw out things in others, and lots of other ways that he does things too. My name is Kylie Butler, and I'm a part of Christian Coaching Institute, which is Australia's leading Christian coaching organisation. We've been coaching and training leaders in coaching for over 10 years now. So as we look at questions today, I want to dive into a couple of key areas. Firstly, the creation story, and then also Jesus and his interactions with others. So let's start with Genesis. Right at the beginning, Genesis chapter 3, and we find the first words that God speaks to humanity, and they're a question. And God asks this question, where are you? I find this question fascinating because I'm tipping that the God, the creator of the universe, knew exactly where Adam and Eve were located, hiding behind a bush somewhere. So why does he ask this question? God is essentially asking you or saying, you disobeyed me. How's that working for you? Did things turn out the way that you wanted or the way that you expected or predicted? The question shows the heart of God, which is a heart that seeks after those that he loves. Where are you? It's a key question in coaching. Where are you? And yes, it kind of means that physical, where are you physically? But it also means where are you mentally? Where are you emotionally? Where are you spiritually? Where are you? Often we need someone just to help us to locate where we are. We can be overwhelmed, confused, anxious, stressed, and we just need clarity. Having someone ask us questions can help us to locate where we are. Let's fast forward now to the Gospels and take a look at Jesus. Jesus' communication style often focuses on two things. He tells great stories, parables, and he asks great questions. Now, I don't know about you, but I ask a lot of questions because I don't know the answer. That was never true of Jesus. He knew all of the answers and yet focused so much of his interaction with people on asking them questions. In the four Gospels, there are 339 questions that are recorded that Jesus asks. In Matthew, Jesus asks 109 questions. In Mark, Jesus asks 68 questions. In Luke, Jesus asks 107 questions. In John, Jesus asks 55 questions, 339 questions in total. Now we know that some of those are going to cross over because of the same story being shared in the different Gospels. But regardless, that's a lot of questions. And as I look at those questions that Jesus asks, I see a few reasons as to why he asks them. He asks questions to increase engagement. He asks questions to build connection and relationships. Sometimes the questions force people to think and consider their answer. He asks questions to create conversations. His listeners were more likely to own their own conclusions because of his questions. He sometimes answered questions with questions of his own, and he sometimes asked questions to warm up and to get the conversation started. So let's take a look at one of those questions. And it's a story told in Luke chapter 18, verses 35 to 43. And this is one of his questions. Jesus is on his way to Jericho and he passes a blind man begging on the roadside. The man is calling out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." The crowd orders him to be quiet, but Jesus says, come, orders him to be brought over to him. And then he asks this really strange question. What do you want me to do for you? Now looking back at a distance of 2,000 years, we can look back and we say, of course he wants to be healed. Of course he'll do miracles. But at this point at the time, he may not know that Jesus can perform miracles. Of course the man wants to be healed. And so he says, Lord, I want to see. But neither the question nor the answer are as straightforward as we might think. Let's look at the question. The question respects the blind man's choice. You know, we're very good at seeing someone's problems and assuming that we know how to fix them, whether it's on a large scale or on purely a personal level. But rather than Jesus assuming that he knew best, he asks the man what he wants. Rather than overriding his choices, he allows the man to make a choice. Jesus' approach has a message for all of us whenever we're in a position of authority. You know, perhaps we're counseling someone who's in a difficult situation, and we might have navigated that successfully ourselves in the past, and it's easy to jump to the answer. Or perhaps we're in a position where we can exercise influence within an organization, and because we're good at arguing our point or we have a particular role, we don't ask the question. But that question, what do you want me to do for you, implies patience, acceptance in listening to the person before we do anything. And then let's have a look at the answer. The answer reflects not just a deep faith, but also deep courage. The blind man might have known that Jesus was a miracle worker, or he might have thought that he might have been a source of funds and money. So when when he says, Lord, I want to see, he's moving on a different level of faith entirely. Jesus can give him a different life. I love questions that are open, that are pure, that are curious questions that help a person to discover for themselves, discover what they want, discover what will work in their context, discover what God is doing in them and through them. Why not take the posture of a questioner today? And so instead of asking advice or giving input, why not pose a question and see what happens? It's been so great to connect with you today, and look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Have a great day.